Hi, so this is a video for November 23rd. If you missed class, please send me an email with the answers to the following questions as we go through. So the first thing I want you to try to do is, for question number one, is to list as many of the reasons as possible that we came up with for why the Korach rebellion might be considered a machloket she'eno l'shem shemayim, a machloket that is not for the sake of heaven. What are kind of the things that Korach does in the course of his argument? Right, we've got a full list of them, so go ahead and try to list as many as you can for question number one. Let's go over here are the ones we went over in class and reviewed in class today. Korach exploits grievances, right? There are two angry groups with different goals, and he kind of gathers them both together. He offers a kernel of truth, saying we're all holy, so everyone can say, he's got a point. Brings God into the argument. This was David's idea, saying God is on my side. God is with me, and against you and your ideas. He exploits timing. Korach waits for a moment when morale is low and when people have no hope with the current administration. There's not even a possible solution since Datan and Aviram refused to even meet with Moses to air the grievances. He distorts and alters truth, right? He calls Egypt the land of milk and honey, which is just crazy. And Sonny came up with this that Korach uses his jealousy for bad purposes instead of good, right? Bad equals like I'm jealous of a person X, so that means I need to destroy that person. Where good is like I'm jealous of a person, what can I actually learn from them? So I wanted to point out that when we had this verse. This is a famous verse in the Torah. God said to Abraham, go forth from your native land. Let's see here, right? Ah, God came to Abraham and said, go forth from your land, from your birthplace, from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. And if we look actually at Sepharia, and I look at kind of the number of midrashim, I notice that there are a ton of midrashim. Now, what is midrashim? Midrashim are a collection of stories that seem to answer or fill in gaps in the Torah and answer questions that we have. So there are 81 of them. So from this verse, and God came to Abraham and said, go from your land, from your birthplace, from your father's house to a land I will show you. What big question are the rabbis dealing with here? So that's question number 2 for today. So the big question they're dealing with here is like, why Abraham? Why did God come to Abraham as opposed to other people? And in the same way, we have some questions about Korach, and the question is, why did Korach, or not why did Korach rebel, or really, how did Korach become a rebel? And like I said in the Ed puzzle, this past week, Korach uses tzitzit to rebel, but how? And so in class, some people gave some interesting ideas, but I want you to look at the way that Korach rebels with tzitzit, and I also want you to look at the way that Korach rebels with a Torah scroll as well. And I'm going to ask you, what are the similar? What can we learn? So I want to analyze this as well. So how does Korach rebel? Um, Okay, so Korach says, "Hey Moshe, how do you like the beautiful new shirt I'm wearing? It's a very nice shirt, Korach. Wear it well. By any chance, did you notice the beautiful blue color, the beautiful tchelet color? That's blue. The same color of that one thread of the fourth thread of each seat. So again, he's using that right here's the tchelet color. That's blue, and that's seat right there, which go on the four corners of a garment. So, by any chance, did you notice the beautiful blue color, the beautiful tchelet color, the same color that one thread of the fourth thread of each seat? Wow, how about that, Korach? You really do have there a fine shirt of tchelet. Now, now that we're on the subject of this beautiful shirt of tchelet, I've got a question for you, Moshe. Should I go ahead and put tzitzit on this here shirt of mine? So Korach is asking, should I put tzitzit on the four corners of this shirt? And Moses said, well, of course you should, Korach. The Torah tells us to do just that. Put tzitzit on the corners of our garments to remember God's commandments, no matter what the color is. And then Korach says, now that's just messed up, Moses. The Torah of yours makes no sense. If 4 blue strings are all a normal shirt needs in order to be kosher and usable, then a shirt that has over 2,000 blue threads surely doesn't need any more blue threads in order for it to be kosher and usable. So Korach is saying, the very fact that I'm wearing all of like this, it's the blue thread that made this all kosher, and I'm wearing a shirt that has all of that, so I shouldn't need that. Okay, now watch what he does with this play. So here's a mezuzah, and here's a room filled with Torahs, right? Hey Moshe, how do you like this amazing collection I built for my collection of the Torahs? This room, how do you like the amazing room I've built for my collection of Torahs? A very nice room, Korach, and a very nice collection of Torahs. Well, I'm just about finished with the final touches on the room, and I just built myself a doorway. As I finish it, I'm thinking to myself, self, does this room need a mezuzah on it? Well, of course it should, Korach. The Torah tells us to do just that, to put a mezuzah on the doorpost of our house to recall God as we are coming in and going out. Now that's just messed up, Moses. The Torah of yours makes no sense. There is like 1 or 2 chapters of the Torah written in a mezuzah, and there is a room, and that is all a room needs to be kosher. But each one of these Torahs has 278 chapters and look how many of them I've got in this room. Are you trying to tell me that this room even needs even more Torah? Okay, so what I'd like you to do is kind of look at these different stories and find there's something similar about the story, about how the rabbis are believing that Korach is rebelling. And I think it goes back to actually a little bit about what we thought of here, that Korach offers a kernel of truth when he says we are all holy, so everyone can say, he's got a point. So give me a couple answers for what you think are the similarities between Korach rebelling 1, Midrash, Korach rebelling number 2. Great. Now I want to talk about this verse right here, which says, "Remove the fire pans of those who have sinned at the cost of their lives, and let them be hammered into sheets as plating for the altar. For once they have been used for offerings to God, they have become sacred." So I want to focus on these words, "They have become sacred." Now, Korach and his group and Datan and Abiram, they are rebels. They are rebelling against Moses. This is like machloket on steroids. And all of a sudden, though, God is saying, those pans that they use to bring their offering to God? Yeah, they were doing it for horrible reasons, but those pans, I want those. Those are holy pans. No one can touch them. They have to be now used to kind of help decorate my house. What? What's that all about? Why shouldn't it be that God is saying those pans were used for the wrong reason? Get rid of them. I don't want to see them around. I don't want anyone to know they're around. The very fact that Korach touched them made them impure and defiled, but actually the Torah is saying something different. The Torah is actually saying, no, I want those pans. No, I want them to use to beautify my house. So the question is, why? So I'd like you to look at actually, this is a page of Mikro Gedolot. So it has the Torah in the middle here, and it has on the side all these different comments. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at Rashi's comment. I'd like you to look at Nachmanides' comment. I'd like you to look at Ibn Ezra's comment. And I'd like you to look at Abarbanel's comment. And I'd like you to summarize Rashi's comment for question number 3. I'd like you to summarize the Ramban Nachmanides for number 4. Number 5, I'd like you to do Ibn Ezra. And number 6, I'd like you to summarize Abarbanel. And then I'd like you to go, after you've done that, then I'd like you to go to this page right here and read these 3 other comments. One from Emek Hadavar, one from Akedat Yitzchak, and one from Rav Kook. By the way, Akedat Yitzchak, it was the name of a commentary. He took on that name. He was like, I like that name. Everyone knows that name. This was Isaac ben Moses Aram. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'd like you to read them and pick one of these answers for question number 7 that you like best, and explain why you think that is a really interesting answer to the words, "they are holy." All right. And actually, that is it for the day. Best of luck. Send me those answers via email, and you'll get full credit for your full 8 points if when I check the answers, they all seem hunky dory. All right, bye.